family. I had to write my brother while he was in prison, let him know like it's either you get your shit together and want to be a part of my life positively, or I'm just gonna have to love you from a distance because I can't have you in my life doing the same shit that you're doing that got you in trouble that I was involved and dragged in. So I feel that what I did was I had to speak to several different organizations to as community service. I had to do a bunch of ethos online courses to make sure that my priorities were straight, that my ethical thinking was in line with my principles and morals. So these organizations I had to speak to before I was allowed back to school. I spoke to 150, but I was only required to talk to 15. That was, for me, I use that as my platform because I want to be a motivational speaker when I grow up and graduate from school. So that allowed me to get that real world experience into helping guys that come from the same neighborhoods like me, who grew up around drug dealers, who admired drug dealers at the same time because they were getting money, helping their families with the bills, and that's all I really want to do is help my mom out the struggle, get her to so she can stop working. So for me, it's more so that I had to rebuild my image, and the only way to do that, to be able to get back into the routine of the things I need to do daily, was to be able to reach out and touch these guys' hearts and minds and letting them know that it's more than one way to be successful than selling drugs, being around gangbangers, and that's going to school, getting good grades, being respectful to your parents, being respectful to your elders, and actually being respectful of your peers and people around you, and taking the things you need to take serious in life because you only get one chance to do things the right way, or else that second chance that you get, you're going to be making it up to why you didn't do it the right way the first time, like I am. So I feel like I made that huge impact and step to where now I feel like I touched so many guys that the generation coming up under me from fifth to ninth graders, even seniors in high school. Some of the guys were even 5'7", ages 5 to 7, age group teams where all these guys were it was many varieties of teams, ages that I spoke to. But of course I had to like monitor the way I speak to a certain level of kids, and I had to break down the way I was going to speak to them in different terms of word usage so that they will be able to understand what I'm saying and not take it for what it was as just me talking. Because that's how I felt when I was younger. When guys would come speak to us, I just took it for what it was and what they were saying. I didn't understand the deeper meaning. So I wanted to make sure that when I was speaking to these people, these kids, that I gave them the deeper meaning of what I'm trying to get them to see as well, and then explained it, and then told them why I'm trying to get them to see that bigger picture, because it only leads to one bad road, and that's not the road you want to take, because that road is the yellow brick road. It's windy. You don't want that road. You want the road that's literally as straight as a mirror, and when you're looking at it, cut and dry. And that's where I felt that helped me rehab myself and gave me the courage to get back in the swing of things, working out, coming up, wanting to do things the right way. Being around family also helped me get back into that work hard, stay dedicated, and just grind and stay motivated attitude, because they were so supportive that like I didn't think they were going to be as supportive as they were, because I felt like I let them down so much that I at least would be ignored for a couple months. But the first thing they did was hug me, because they realized, shit, this is why we didn't want you around the city in the first place. And my mom made it seem that's why she moved out of the city in the first place, because she didn't want me to fall into the trap of drug dealing, gang banging, getting myself in trouble with the wrong crowd, and end up dead or in jail for the rest of my life. Thank God that I'm not in either of those places anymore, and I'm back at school, getting my degree, and focused on achieving my goals that I've set. So, if I just feel like by having my family support me, my coaches support me, the whole university support me, and my lawyer being a fan support me just as much as my family. And it's just those people are the ones that actually keep you going when it comes to situations like this, because I feel like when you're down, you don't know what to think about other than when you were up. And when you were up, you couldn't think about falling because you didn't think it could happen to you. And I was one of those people who thought that way, and it happened to me. So when I hit that bottom, I had to force myself to think about what can I do to build myself and character back up to that situation where I'm back to that situation, but now I can alternate and take pieces out where I want them to be and how it should be. So when I was able to figure that out and do it that way, it made me realize that if I was to do that before I did any other thing throughout my day, I could pretty much navigate my life and day to be pretty positive, right, and avoid trouble and drama, because I can picture the situation, picture how different outcomes, and be able to switch it around and think, what would this person do? What would my mom say? How would my coach feel about if I did this? How would the people around me be affected? And that all really played a role into what I do nowadays when I make a decision. And like it affected my family a lot because they used to always have that joy of coming to see me play, coming to seeing me study, read books, and seeing me just lay around the house, work out, come back, lay down, go to work, come back, sleep, do the same thing. It was just like, this not you, this isn't what you do. We're not used to having you around as much anymore because we like to get out the house to come see you. Coming to see you is our break when we get out of work or from school. We want to be able to come see you, and you doing your thing makes us happy. Not the fact that you're playing football or at school, it's just the fact that you're doing your thing, you're happy, you're motivated, and you're out doing something with your life. You're not getting in trouble, you're not selling drugs, you're not out there gang banging with the rest of the guys from Baltimore City or confined to the stereotype. You are a prime example of breaking the cycle. When they were telling me this, it made me feel more so like where I was invincible because I had my family. And they made me feel that way because they appreciated the fact that I didn't fall into that trap where I'm gang banging, shooting guys, selling drugs, and doing things that most people think of a Baltimore person, a black male from Baltimore, would be doing. So that's one of the things that really affected me, as well as my family, because they didn't want that for me. They wanted better out of me. And I feel like most people don't realize that after things that goes on in their life, they don't think about it before it happened. They think about it during the occurrence of it, rather than trying to be preactive about something to prevent it. They try to be reactive and wait till it's too late, and that's what I did. I didn't think on my toes to be proactive, so it was more so I was reactive rather than preactive. So I didn't understand that until now. So now that I'm back in the swing of things, I feel like I knew something would happen after I got in trouble. So now I think more so along the lines is, if I do this and I get caught, can I go to prison for it? When I think that way, it makes things more simple for me, because now I feel that if I can go to prison for it, it's definitely not something I should be doing. If I shouldn't be stepping, it's as if, like, for example, I'm on college campus and I have to skip or say I wanted to skip a class and I'm tired, just because I'm tired. If I skip a class, can I go to jail for that? No. But the thing that would happen is I would miss in that class in that lecture, so I wouldn't be getting all the notes that I need. So what if the exams is going to cover that one section? I missed that section. That's on me. But if I'm out hanging out with my friends and we're at a party in D.C. and the fight break out and I jump in it, can I get in trouble for that? Can I go to jail for that? Yeah, because if that person is really brutally beaten and I was there, I can be held accountable because of that reason, that I was in it, I was accomplice, and it doesn't matter if I did it or not. I was in it, so they can hold me accountable to the depths of that. So that's how I'm more along the lines thinking now about things, rather than thinking if I'll get caught about doing something again. I more so think of, if I do this and I get caught doing it, what are the consequences? So the most important thing that I lost after being incarcerated was my family's trust, my supporters' trust, my coach's trust, and the game I love, playing football. I lost all of that. I had to regain all of that respect back and actually make people believe that I was serious about getting my life back on track. It's hard to lose someone. It's hard to gain someone's trust back after you've lost it for something you've done that didn't truly make sense for you to even be doing, because they didn't believe that's the type of person you are. And the fact that you did something out of your character just proves that you wasn't thinking along the lines for yourself. You were just thinking in a time period just because you wanted to feel like you were a part of something. So that's how I feel about that. But the most challenging thing that I experienced was actually being in there and playing. Once when I got there, I played basketball, and guys seeing how talented I was up dunking, making jumpers, 3-pointers, and then go and work out and then come back and play basketball. And they're like, this guy got a lot of energy. Like, you must be an athlete. And then after I said, yeah, everyone pretty much just circled up around me and started talking, like, yeah, man, like, you're a young guy, like, you got all this potential, man. I see it in you, man. Like, this gotta be the only time you've been locked up, because I don't see you as this type of person. I don't even know your story yet, man. I just get this vibe from you that you know you don't belong in here. So why are you in here, man? You gotta get out of here. When you do, make sure you stay out of here, man. But if you can, write me. Let me know how you doing. Like, guys literally, like, started to gravitate towards me because of my personality and the way I talk and carry myself, and they can see they can see that I'm in there for the wrong reason. I'm not. That's not where I belong. They understand and see it in my eyes and in my posture that I don't belong in this prison that they were in. So they were all coaching me up, being supportive, telling me what not to do, how to stay away from the trouble, and not trusting family sometimes if you have to, because they be the main ones that encourage you to do something, but you realize at the same time that you're doing it for the wrong reasons. So that was the most challenging thing, was seeing that guys that was been locked up for 15 years, 30 years, and seeing this potential in me that I let slip. And they realize, you let that slip, man. You can't do that, because I can tell you got so much potential and talent that you overlook because you want to be around family or your friends who ain't up to no good. You got to realize those guys aren't on the same level of playing field that you're on because